Guys, coming at you with another episode of Tampa Bay Real Producers. This is the podcast that is made for real producers, by real producers, and with none other than Tampa Bay's real producers. So today we get to hook up with David Lovitch. How you doing, man?
Not too bad, thank you very much.
It's good to have you here on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
This is actually the first time David and I have got to meet in person. We've done a feature on David. It's crazy. I think that was like 8 months ago already.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Within
8
the
months.
last year at least. But we haven't had an opportunity yet to have David at our events and stuff, so I'm glad we were able to get you at least drag you out for the podcast,
Me
man.
too. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, no doubt. This is fun. So we get to dive into David's story. If you don't know David, he's a team leader with Keller Williams. And so why don't we start with a little bit about your background? Did you grow up in this area? If not, how did you make your way to Tampa? And eventually, how did the whole real estate thing become a reality?
I'm originally from New York, from Orange County, so not the city, so 50 miles north of the city.
Sure. I'm Danbury, Connecticut.
Oh,
there you go.
45 minutes away, 50 minutes away.
I know Orange County well.
There we go. So I'm originally from there, and I spent 36 years there. And I was in real estate in New York for 8 years. And moved down here. My wife's parents lived down here, and we were just tired of the weather and the snow, and it was a bit much. So we moved down to Paradise 12 years ago.
Nice.
And I've been in real estate since I've been down here, which is amazing.
That's crazy, dude. I moved here 12 years ago, too.
Did you really? Oh, that's great.
I went to college here, University of Tampa, and then I went home. I ran a marketing company in Connecticut and New York for about 12 years. And then in 2012, we moved down, and so we've been
That's
here
where
now
we've been
permanently.
since 2012, and my daughter wants to go to University of Tampa too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we got a small world. We got like a similar story
Yeah,
already.
seriously.
So yeah, that's where I graduated from, was UT, and we just had Tatum Praise here on one of the episodes, and she's also a graduate from UT.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So small world, man. So you were in real estate in New York. You said as a retail, like residential agent.
That's correct.
Okay, and so it was already in the blood up there. And then what made you pick Tampa Bay? Did you have any connections here?
My wife's parents lived in Ruskin at the time.
Okay.
So we were looking down in Florida, and her parents came across this amazing deal for a brand new house, and at the time was $189,000, which is hysterical, for a 3,200 square foot house. But
you ain't finding those prices anymore, huh?
No, not at all. So we bought that house. We moved down. We sight unseen. We bought it from Lennar, and it's been history since then. It's been a lot of fun. Now we're in Apollo Beach. So for the last 6 years, we've been in Apollo Beach.
Okay.
But it was great. We enjoyed Ruskin very much, and we enjoy Apollo Beach even more.
Was your wife in the real estate game as well, or no?
She is. Yeah, she's actually a licensed agent.
She is. Okay.
Yeah, for like the last 7 or 8 years or something.
On your team, I take it. You guys work together.
Yeah. We work together.
So you basically run the team together, right?
Correct.
Team leaders. Okay.
Yeah. She's great. My wife is my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I love her to death. She's the best of the best. Was she in real estate in New York as well? Nope. Just since we were down here.
Okay. Cool. So you came down to Tampa. Did you hook up with KW right away, or did that happen over time?
No, that was instantly. It was one of the closest offices to where I was living, and I interviewed there. I loved the broker at the time, Gary Corcoran. He was a great guy. So I just felt like home, and it's been home for the last 12 years.
So tell me a little bit more about your experience in real estate. When did you get licensed?
I got licensed in 2004.
Okay, so you've seen a lot of different market swings.
I have. I've seen the really bad, and I've seen the really good.
From a distinction of New York versus Florida, do you see a lot of differences in terms of different markets? And was that hard at all for you to kind of learn anything different about a Florida market, or was it a seamless transition?
I don't want to say seamless, because in New York you have attorneys that write contracts for you, so you just write one-page binders, and then they deal with the rest of it.
Yep.
It's pretty easy. Down here, writing your own contracts, picking title companies and things like that took a little bit to get used to.
Makes sense. Yeah. Like I said, I'm from Connecticut, so it's also an attorney state.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Up there, so I can understand that side of things. But I guess you don't miss the New York winters, huh?
No, not at all. Yeah. And I'm a skier, and I love to ski, but I can just go visit and ski anytime with my friends, so it's perfect.
Now, were you a team builder up there in New York?
No, actually, I started out in New York. The reason why I got my license in New York is I started buying houses to rehab and to rent out.
Okay.
So I bought 2 or 3, and the broker that I was using at the time said, why don't you get your license? You can pay yourself a commission every time you buy or sell something.
Yeah.
I said, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
So in 2004, I got my license, and then it was just history ever since,
So you were building for an investment reason at first.
At first, yeah. Then it just turned into more than a passion. I still like to invest, even though I haven't in a while. I still like to invest in real estate. I like architecture. I like design and renovation and construction. I love it all.
Do you still have rentals up there?
No, we actually got rid of. I think the last one 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And that wasn't. It wasn't a sad tale, I promise.
So you came down here, and you doesn't sound like you were focused on the investment side as much.
Not at all.
When you first came down here. You were full steam ahead with the residential real estate side. Now, were you immediately building a team from when you got down to Florida, or did you still do more individual production for a while?
You know what? I joined a team, which is kind of crazy to say. I actually joined a team because I needed the knowledge down here,
Sure.
the location knowledge, the how things work and so on and so forth. But it's very similar to New York in that aspect as far as prospecting goes and things of that nature.
Yep.
So I was on the team for about 6 months, and I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm going to do my own thing. And then a couple of my friends that were in the office were like, you should start a team. And I was like, that sounds like a great idea. I did everything wrong. Everything. I mean, literally. The best part about me is that I've failed so many times, but I fail forward, which is great. I started a team like a year later. Yeah, like a year later, I started a team, and I've had it since 2013 now.
So would you say, David, that you're failing forward, as you put it? The lessons you've learned, have they been more revolving around team building and the mistakes you've made on that area, or when you were learning real estate as a business, like, was that more of the bigger learning curve? What have you found more challenging?
I think it's all the same. You know what I mean? As far as prospecting goes, as far as the software that you're using, as far as the people that you're hiring, the teammates you're putting on the team, the locations, I mean, every last thing. It was all everything, and I'm still learning, I promise you. But I can tell you what not to do. That's very easily I could tell you what not to do.
What's one thing that comes to mind that you feel like was a lesson that you really learned at any point in that process with team building?
I can tell you that the first lesson that I learned was, and I'm sorry, I hope nobody's offended by it, I tried to force it. I tried to force a team. So I had a couple friends, and then I tried to add team members, and I didn't have enough business to do it. So I didn't have enough to share. So you know what I mean? It was, I tried to do something that was not organic, and building things organically works much better.
And when you say that, you mean like just having enough volume to support bringing on more people because there's a necessity? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's exactly correct. So what you're supposed to do, according to Gary Keller and the MREA, is that you're supposed to, have enough business that you hire a showing agent or a buyer's agent, and you give them your overflow, and then that agent becomes too busy, and you have to get another one, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So that's the organic way of doing it, and I did it completely opposite. Completely opposite.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I would think for people, I know for me personally, I have an acumen to want to work with people, right? So I think that would be my driver, would be to want to build a team, because I find that more exciting, right?
Absolutely.
I have a bigger passion for that. But you're right, like, it could be a big mistake if you're not doing it at the right time.
It wasn't the right time.
And you don't have the volume to support it.
And I didn't have the volume.
Those are lessons, right?
Yeah, seriously. I learned them, and it was, sometimes it was hard and harder than others, and it was okay. Yeah. Hiring the right people as far as employees go, I mean, it's not easy. It's really not easy. Everybody that's going to start a team, I definitely urge you to call me. I'll tell you what not to do.
So you've been here now for about 12 years, you said, in this market. And then obviously you also were an agent for another, basically 10 years, it sounds like, in the New York market.
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years. So what are some of the things you think you've learned just in terms of dealing with the different cycles and the seasons of real estate? How does that impact your perspective now, would you say? There's
ebbs and flows in everything in life. There's ebbs and flows. So there's ups and there's downs. There's really high highs. There's really low lows. You just have to be able to shift and accommodate the market. You have to be able to, if what you were doing last year is not working, then you have to do something else this year. Yeah. And you have to have a good plan to do it. And you always try to plan ahead for the following year, so you get to start early at hitting your goals. But I think you just got to be fluid. You have to move with the market. You can't just be set in your ways, and the thing that worked last year may not work this year.
No doubt. Is this kind of the time of year when you start thinking ahead to next year?
You're exactly correct.
Putting the game plan together?
Correct. Yep. October, I start a little bit late. October or November.
Yep.
That's when we start putting everything together.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So have you found that your business, David, has kind of ebbed and flowed with these cycles at all, or have you had just consistent growth over the years? What's that experience look like for you?
We usually grow approximately 20% a year.
Okay.
So last year and the year before were just weird years because of COVID. So last year was a decent year. The year before was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah,
everybody's gone through it. It's like an up and down thing. We sold fewer units last year, but we sold more in volume. it was just a weird year.
Yeah.
The last couple of years.
And I think for those of you who might not know, I think what I saw. I'm assuming these are the team numbers, or they might be personal number. Are you still? Are you still personally selling?
Yes,
you
absolutely.
Are. Okay.
I love it. Yeah.
So I had 18 million, 44 transactions last year. Was that a
That
team?
was me.
That was personal.
Yeah, that was me.
That was personal.
Yeah, that's
How
me.
many people do you have on the team now?
I have 3 full-time agents, and then I have a couple part-time agents as well.
Got it. And has that been kind of consistent, or have you had bigger team at one point and then scaled down?
Yep, I had a much bigger team at one point, and I had 3 office locations. So I had Apollo Beach and Riverview and Bradenton.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare. And I had a bunch of agents and a bunch of admin, and I make more money with just my smaller team now than I did with 3 locations and all the admin and all the agents. So
because of all the overhead.
Yeah, well, not even just the overhead. It's a lot to manage.
Sure.
A lot of personalities and a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, that's a great point, though. I mean, I think it's fascinating because there's always different types of people that listen to these podcasts, right? Sometimes there's newer agents who try to have some vision as to where they're trying to go or just trying to get traction. Mm-hmm. Then there's also people that are more experienced, I think, that are in the process of growing still a team or have a successful organization, but maybe you're thinking about expanding, and growing in all these different directions. And you've gone through that, it sounds like,
Correct.
And have made a conscious decision to scale down, but it's actually been more profitable, it sounds like.
It has. It really has.
For you to do that.
Yep,
so,
it really has. And anything that you listen to, anytime you get a chance to educate yourself, whether it's listening to podcasts or read or whatever you're going to do, anytime you get to educate yourself, it's just one more tool that you have in your bag.
Yeah, man. It makes a lot of sense. So do you still want to grow the team, or are you content with the size of it now? And if it happens organically, so be it, but it's not a focus of yours?
If it's not a focus, growing is not my focus now. My focus is just excelling. That's it. You know what I mean? I want everybody on my team to have so much business that they can't handle anything else, and we have to hire new agents, which would be wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's my focus. My focus is making the people on my team very fat and hearty like that so that we can feed others.
That's cool. Is there anything specific, David, that you feel like you've looked for when you consider a team member, whether this is an actual interviewing process you put people through or just certain qualities that you think are important to you?
I'm not allowed to interview people anymore because every time I interview people, it turns out to be terrible.
You just hire everybody. Huh?
Listen, so I have my admin and one of my top agents sit with the people and they tell me yes or no, then I just take their advice. I know that sounds silly. It's not a cop-out. I'm just really not good at hiring people.
No, I think it's important to know what you are good at.
Well,
right?
that's exactly right.
And focus on those things.
Yep, I'll be more than happy to let them do it. Absolutely.
So that's your process. So they go through some screening, it sounds like.
Correct.
Through them, right?
Correct.
And then based on whatever criteria, I guess, that you guys have collaborated on and put together, they determine whether this is the right person for the team.
If they like them, then I like them. That's basically how it goes.
And then once they're hired, are you the one who's kind of wrapping your arms around them and mentoring them?
No, I try to have my 2 top agents mentor the new agents.
Okay.
So for instance, Kevin is mentoring a new agent on our team, Erin, right now.
Okay.
So he brings her on appointments, onto listing appointments, onto buyer appointments. She writes contracts. He reviews them. They go over listing agreements, and it's great to have a really experienced, knowledgeable agent teach somebody below them. It's like you don't have Roy Kroc from McDonald's going to train people. They have trainers to train them because that's what works best.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it.
That makes sense.
It actually works well like that. And after they're done, I'll bring them on. After the mentors are done, training them, then I'll bring them on a couple listing appointments and a buyer appointment if I ever have one.
So how do you split up your time between serving your clients and the needs of the team still? I'm assuming whether that's team meetings or whatever you're doing personally to serve the team. How much of your time is split? How does that work for you?
It's once again, that's like an ebb and flow thing as well. So sometimes it's a lot of team and little for my clients. I shouldn't say that. I apologize.
You can say anything you want, David.
I know. I don't want my clients to listen to this.
We also have
and be
magical editing here, so you can say anything you want.
I just don't want my clients to be like, little time for my clients. Sometimes it requires more and sometimes it requires less. I'm fully focused. When I'm in my office, I'm focused. If I'm working from home, it's just a bad day. It's just a bad day. I can't concentrate. I'm too ADHD.
You got to get out of the house, huh?
Oh, yeah. Always. Right to the office. Perfect. Right to the office so that I can start my day.
Yeah. I actually work from home a lot, but it is tricky sometimes.
I just can't do it. I don't know. Like, I can't because I'm sitting on the couch and watching television.
Right.
We just got a new dog, so now we're playing with a new dog. Oh man, it's too much for me. There's too much. There's too much action.
Do you have any other business functions outside of the real estate team, or is that your sole focus on the business side?
My sole focus on the business side is that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how long have you been married now?
Almost 20 years. We've been married, 18 years together for 20.
Okay, and your wife is one of those 3 full-time agents, I think you said, right?
No, she in addition, yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. And so, do you guys have kids?
Yep, we have 3 kids. They're older though, so we have a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old, and our youngest is 17 and going into college next year.
Nice. Are they in the real estate game yet, or not really?
No.
No interest, huh?
My son had interest, but he couldn't pass the state test after taking it 3 times. So if you take your class,
those tests could be trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, if you take your class and you wait a year to take your state test, you're not doing yourself any service, which is what he did. So he starting to become interested in it again. You know, he sees the time that I have, and he sees the things that we have, and he wants to do the same thing.
Yeah.
He's accustomed to living a certain way and wants to continue it. So
right.
I urge him to do it.
You think he will?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I mean, I think he has a team he could join, right?
He really does. And when I told him he has to pay 50%, he was really annoyed about that. I'll tell you.
What else are some things that you guys tend to do for fun when you're not jamming in the business?
Love to fish. We love to spend time with family. That's like our main thing. Spending time as a family is great. Love to fish. Love to be on a boat. Love to scuba dive. Love to ski.
Do you get up back to the New York area for skiing at all? Or?
We haven't been in a while, so the next time, hopefully this winter, we'll be in Vermont for a little while. My wife has cousins in Vermont.
There you go. That's ski country for sure.
Yep, so she could stay there with them, and I can go skiing with my friends. It's perfect.
There you go. And I guess Colorado is another hot spot if you want to check that out.
I have never been to Colorado, so I've skied almost my entire life. I've never been to Colorado. I've been to Utah. I've been to Oregon. I've never been to Colorado.
Something to put on the list,
Oh,
man.
it's definitely on the list.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's definitely on the list.
So, is your wife miss the New York lifestyle at all, or is she,
no, not at all?
She's all Floridaized by now.
100%. She would much rather be hot than cold. So for her, you know, she misses. We were talking about it the other night. She misses watching like the seasons and things of that nature, and watching the leaves change, which is always nice.
Right.
But we can watch it on television. It's perfect. we can watch it on television. It's perfect.
Are there any? Sometimes, as you might have seen in our issues, sometimes we do spotlights on like charitable organizations. We call it a Making a Difference feature, right? Mm-hmm. So I generally will like to ask if there's any particular causes or.
Oh, absolutely. So I have 3 that we donate to, and we are last year. So not only like am I part of the top 10 every single year since I've been here. Mm-hmm. Last year I was the #1 donator, I guess you would call it, for charity.
Okay.
And it was to the Liberty Manor for veterans, and
cool.
it's for homeless veterans. So it's basically to get them back into, you know, the workforce and get them back into having an apartment and, you know, so on and so forth, which I think is extremely important.
Yeah.
I think we owe a lot to our veterans, and I think that that's an amazing cause.
Is that a local organization?
It's in Tampa. Yeah, it's in Tampa.
Okay.
And then the other 2 that I have that are local is that we do the Mary Martha House, which is in Ruskin, which is domestic violence, like homes for domestic violence victims.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And then we do CARE, which is a no-kill animal shelter, which I think is important as well.
Is that really affiliated with? Isn't there a KW Cares organization?
There's totally different things.
Totally different. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So what we'd love to do at some point is maybe even do a feature on one of those charities. I think
that would be absolutely incredible.
A great spotlight. Yeah, we try to do that through that Making a Difference highlight that we put in there. And I've seen certain situations where like someone sees an article and they resonate with the cause, and you know, you never know. Someone else
would be incredible.
Wants to help, encourages them to donate, right?
Yo, seriously, I would love that.
Yeah, we can definitely hook that up. So we'll have to follow up with you on that for sure. Going back to a couple things on the business side, mm-hmm. in terms of just, you know, lessons that you've mentioned one already with the team, you know, and building the team. Mm-hmm. I'm curious. So we talked a little bit about the balance between personal business and the team support, right? Mm-hmm. That you had. Have you ever found that as a challenge or a conflict?
Sometimes it's hard because you have to dedicate the time that your team needs, no matter what. You decided to be a team leader, you started a team, you're taking all these actions. So if your team needs you, you have to, I don't want to say you have to be there first, but you have to make that priority.
Right.
So that means that you step to the side with everything else that you're doing and you help your team first. You know, you can be a cheerleader, you can be a teacher, so on and so forth. So when it's time and when they need it, I'm always there. It doesn't matter. You can call me at 6 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. I'm always there. So
Now, is your organization set up, David, where you generate a lead source, however all your different prospecting methods are, right?
Mhm.
And then are you divvying leads up to the agents,
I
to
do.
the team?
I do. I
Okay.
give mostly to the full-time agents, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like a couple to the part-time. So it's a Boomtown software. I know you've heard of Boomtown.
I have.
It's like one of the top CRMs, and
Okay.
we do a pretty decent amount of lead generation through that. So we get a pretty good amount of leads each month, which is nice to be able to
Cool.
dole them out. And
Do you have a
the
favorite
leads,
lead
so,
source, or what's one of your best strategies there? Where do you think a lot of your business comes from?
word of mouth.
Yeah.
We do a ton of business by word of mouth,
Yeah.
past clients and things to that nature, which is amazing. That
Yeah.
tells you want to tell you how good you are, then I think that's a pretty good indication of that.
Absolutely.
So that's a lot of our business, and we just try to obtain new business by networking and doing things like that, which is great. You know, we do circle prospecting, we do Facebook ads and Google ads and things to that nature, but I think that being out there and meeting people is the number one thing.
And do you target any geographic areas? Is it really your home base or all over Tampa Bay?
You know, one of my agents, it's funny, and I'll tell you the story. One of my agents, Kevin, he's my top agent. He's hysterical. I wish he was here too. It would have been very funny, but he just came back from Ocala yesterday. He sold a house in Ocala.
Okay.
And he sold a house in Jacksonville 2 weeks before that. And I say to him, I'm like, Kevin, you know, what are you doing? Why are you selling houses in Jacksonville? He said, well, the house was $300,000.
Yeah.
And I got a 3% commission. He said, so it took me 3.5 hours to drive to Jacksonville, 3.5 hours back. And that was a good day for 7 hours. And
Worth the investment.
I couldn't argue with him. You know
Right.
what I mean? I would prefer to refer something like that out to a friend or whatever it is, a colleague. But no, he takes it all. So as far as geographic location, I'd love to stay within like 40 miles of Apollo Beach, but sometimes it goes more than that.
Yeah, and I guess I'm assuming a lead like that probably is organic, right? Maybe it comes from a connection or something.
That's exactly correct.
It's not like he's doing marketing campaigns out there.
Zero.
Probably.
We do zero out there.
Right. So that makes some sense. I mean, if the lead comes in because there's a warm lead and you want to serve it, then serve it, right?
And he does. It's funny to say that. And my other agent, my top agent, Joanne, she's in Orlando all the time and going down to Fort Myers and things like that. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
a
no
little
doubt.
bit far for me, but
Yeah.
if they want to do it, by all means, I don't stop them.
David, you've been in real estate now, I don't know if this makes you feel old or not, but 20 years almost,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
So if you had to give some advice to some agents who are just not really happy with the way their business is operating right now, right? What are some thoughts you have as far as how you might want to mentor somebody who's just trying to still get this thing going? They're not a real producer yet, but they want to be. What would be some things you might share that you think would help them?
You have to find a mentor. You have to find somebody that's willing to give you a little bit of time. You know what I mean? And we do that on my team for other agents in our office. We always do that. We donate our time. So when you're a top producer, I think you should always give back. We're not the people that we shut our doors and we stay in our office and don't help anybody. People come into our office all the time. They want help with CMAs, with any kind of marketing, with anything like that. And we always donate the time. So I think that the first thing to do is always hook up with a mentor. I think that's the most brilliant thing to do.
Yep.
And again, always educate yourself, always read, always watch podcasts, or you know what I mean? I think that that's a smart way of doing it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think the mentor is
education.
number one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a common thing that's come up multiple times, I would say, when
I
we've done
agree.
these interviews. And it's funny, there's still people out there that I've talked to, because I do get a chance to meet agents that are newer and who are still trying to make it, right? Quote unquote. But they sometimes are hesitant to like search out a mentor.
You have to.
For
Even
whatever
if you get
reasons,
a coach,
like-
if you have to pay for a coach, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That'd be a
Some
great
of it is
start too.
a fear of lack of investment in their own business. Maybe
I know.
maybe
you
it's
have
not
to believe
believing
in
it's
yourself.
worth it.
Listen, this is a business where you get paid if you sell something, and if
Yeah.
you don't sell something, you don't get paid.
That's right.
So you can either eat very well or you can starve.
Yep.
So your best, you know what I mean? I try to eat well.
No doubt.
And I do, obviously. So, yeah, coaching, you know what I mean? If you can't afford an expensive coach, deal with an inexpensive coach.
Yeah.
See what that teaches you. Hook up with one of the top agents in the office. See if they'll give you a little bit of time doing CMAs or how they're marketing or what they're doing. You
Do you still have a
some
coaching
guidance.
program that you're a part of now?
No, not for a while. My wife will tell you that I'm uncoachable. So, so it's difficult for me because my coach tells me one thing and I do something else. It's just the ADHD that just takes over. So it's just terrible. But I'll tell you that it helped me when I did it, and I had a coach that was 10 times as much business as I did. So for me, it was easy to listen to like somebody like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to listen to a coach that doesn't do as much business as you, which I always think, find somebody that's rock star. Don't find somebody that's mediocre at best.
No doubt.
Yeah. And always attach yourself, like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Right.
You always want to be around people, and, you know, that kind of rubs off on you, so.
Yeah, one of my mentors taught me a long time ago that whoever you're going to be listening to, you want to make sure that advice is coming from somebody who has something that you know you already want.
That's exactly. They didn't read it. They actually did it.
They're actually doing it.
Yeah.
They've lived it, or they've done it, right? But either way, they're either doing it or they've done it, right?
That's exactly
got to
right.
be one of those two things. That's got to be a criteria, I would say.
I agree.
For any sort of a coach, or even just listening to advice, period.
I agree. I agree 100%. I don't need somebody to regurgitate material to me. I need somebody that's been in the trenches, have done it, you know what I mean? Have failed, have done, have succeeded, whatever it is, and that's who I want to learn from.
Yeah, no doubt. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
A couple other things as far as a personal side, David, for people who might not know you. You never know. There could be somebody out there who wants to work with you as their team leader, so maybe they end up reaching out to you. Who knows? But do you have a favorite book or seminar or maybe anything that you feel like has made a big impact, a podcast that's made a big impact on you personally and professionally?
Definitely the first book that I would read, if you're going into real estate, the first book, and not non-biased, the first book that I would read is Gary Keller's MREA, which is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Yep.
That'd be the first book that I read. Seriously, that'd be the first book. It's very popular.
Yeah.
And it's applicable to if you're a Coldwell Banker agent, if you're an exit agent, well, like whatever it is, it's still applicable. Everything's applicable that he teaches.
Yep.
So that was a really good book. And as far as classes, most of the classes that I've taken have been Keller Williams oriented, so you know what I mean. So I'm it's definitely biased when
you're
it comes
a homer,
to that.
huh?
Yep, it's definitely biased. It's definitely biased. Gene Rivers actually has.
But they are known for their training programs. I mean, let's be real.
They're the number one trainers in real estate. They're actually voted the number one
KW has built
trainers.
a great reputation for doing just that.
That's exactly right.
Providing a lot of great training content.
Yep, and there's lots of training times, and there's lots of training videos, and lots of people that are willing to help. Yep. It's great. It's a family. It really is.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite movie or TV show?
Oh man, I like comedies, so I could tell you that. So just silly comedies.
There you go.
Yeah, I like to laugh.
I'm old school. I'm still a Seinfeld fan.
Yeah, we watch Seinfeld. I'm not going to exaggerate. We watch Seinfeld every day.
Every
single
really?
day.
Yeah, I love it.
My mother, my wife,
that couldn't beat that synergy, right? They just
yeah,
did a great job.
I'm going to tell you, it's seriously, and we love Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh
and
yeah,
Larry David, who wrote, you know what I mean,
genius.
who wrote Seinfeld. So yeah, we like to laugh. We like to laugh.
I met him once.
Really?
I ran an office in Martha's Vineyard for summertime. This was years ago when I was with a Cutco business. And you ever heard of Cutco, the knife company?
Knives, yeah, they're great.
So I was with them for 12 years.
Oh wow.
And one summer, I was a college kid at UT actually, and I opened up an office, and we ran our office in Martha's Vineyard,
which is awesome.
And he has a house there.
Oh, does he really? I didn't know that.
He lives there. He lives there during the summer at least, maybe even year round. But I know he's there a lot. At least he used to be. This was 2003, so it was some years back. But
yes, it was.
I met him at lunch because one of my sales reps happened to know him, and we were at some restaurant on a golf course or whatever, and he was there. So he introduced me to Larry David. And
that's awesome.
He's got like the same kind of dry sense of humor that you would expect from,
which I think is great.
Yeah,
I'm not like a starstruck guy. Like when I've met numerous of famous people, it doesn't mean anything to me. Like, no offense, you're an actor, or you hit a ball, or you throw a ball, catch a ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, my wife is like that.
I just like to know that they're actually like real,
nice people.
You know, like
are
a
they
real
nice
person?
people?
Are they willing to at least have a basic conversation with you without acting like a jerk?
That's exactly how I feel about it. 100%.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he was cool though. It was a cool. I remember that moment, and then what's the other dude? Jerry Stiller was the other guy that I got a chance to meet. Who's another from a comedic standpoint. Plus, he was George's dad in Seinfeld, obviously.
Which
he was so funny in Seinfeld, and he was really, really cool. We met him at a restaurant, and that was in LA actually when we were out there for a week or so. But those two, both of them were cool memories.
They seem like they would be, but
Seinfeld
some of the people that you think would be cool are really terrible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
you
read something and you're like, wow, I can't believe that person's such a jerk.
Yep, I've met a couple other of the big names that were jerkish.
Oh yeah, there you go.
for sure. But those two were pretty cool about it. But yeah, I still get the reels popping up on my phone of Kramer and all of his comedy art and all that fun stuff. So
I love it.
You can't beat it, man.
Yep, I love it.
A couple last things. So one of the things I always find fascinating is people thinking about their legacy, right? And what they might want to be remembered for. Obviously, you've been in the game now 20 years. Doesn't seem like you're going anywhere anytime soon.
No, not at
Hopefully,
all.
you'll be in it as long as you want.
That's exactly
But
right.
at some point, you'll look back, right, and say, what are you most proud of professionally or personally, even that you remember, that you want to be remembered for the most?
I have 3 amazing children. I have an amazing relationship with my immediate family. My wife and I, like I said, are best friends. I've already met my legacy.
You should do a seminar on that, man.
Yeah, I've already met my
how to
legacy.
have a great marriage, right?
That's something I'm going to tell you right now. I was married once before, and it was not a great marriage. And then the second time around, I knew what I wanted, and it was just everything just lined up. It's perfect. And like I said, she's my best friend, and you'll definitely meet her, and you'll understand.
Yeah.
But as far as like legacy, like I just want to be known that he gave back. That he didn't take. He gave back, and that he was always there to help. And I just want to be remembered for something like that.
Sure.
Maybe a little bit of a smart ass or something like that.
Made the community a little bit better because
That's exactly
of your
right.
efforts. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Well, the thing about real estate is, like, you obviously are a huge influencer in the community, right?
Correct.
Because every day you're out buying, selling, you're meeting people,
They're seeing your name, they're talking to you, yeah.
You're building a brand, and anyone who's done it for as long as you have, has done some things right in order to be able to...
done some things right, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of things wrong, too, I'm sure, right?
You have no idea.
You've done a lot right to be able to succeed as long as you have, so it's a testament for what you've built. Maybe it's all your wife, I don't know, but it is.
I'm not gonna lie.
You guys have been successful regardless.
There we go. So she pushes, and she's good.
Do you know what your total volume has been in your career?
I've never really. I know that sounds silly.
Never looked at it, huh?
We track our numbers so well. So every year, last year we did 40 million. The year before that we did 38 million or whatever, 35 million, whatever it was.
What's been your best year? Does that ring a bell? Best year ever?
I'm not positive.
Okay.
I'm not positive.
Curious.
I know it was over 40.
Well, what it shows is that you're not really just focused on the numbers. That's probably a good thing.
I'm not really a numbers guy, which is why my admin takes care of all that part of it.
Yep.
I'm a person guy. I'm a people person. That's all I want to do. I just want to meet people and talk and chat and see what's going on. That's what I like. I like the interaction. I like the face-to-face.
Well, David, for somebody who might want to connect with you, whether this is an agent who might be wanting to pick your brain a little bit on how to grow their business, or maybe even join their team, right, at some point, what's the best way for someone to reach out to you?
Cell phone. And my cell phone is an 845 area code, just so you know, so it's weird. So it's 845-629-7804.
That's Orange County, by the way.
That's exactly right. That's why, everybody now,
as you probably saw, I still have the 203,
which
so.
which I love, but everybody has different area codes now.
Yeah.
I find it very common, but
Sure.
sometimes when I'm calling people in Tampa and whatever it is in Pinellas and they see the 845, they don't pick up the first time.
Right.
So you got to call twice.
Yeah, I get it. But sometimes that double dip works. So
It does more often than not, actually.
Yeah. My number is just so easy to remember. It's like double zeros, double ones. It's like, how can I get rid of that,
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I got to keep that for as long as possible.
Yo, seriously. I've had my number for 25 years. You know what I mean? I can't change it now.
Yeah, me too, man. I can relate. Well, David, we'll throw your contact stuff up on the podcast episode.
That's awesome.
So that people can check out that
I appreciate
and
that.
hit you up. And any socials that people can follow you at, or?
I'm not really.
Not your big thing?
I'm not really a social media
I
guy.
gotcha.
And I pay someone to do that as well, too. So just so you know. Yeah.
Sounds like delegation's a good thing for you, though.
I'm really good at that part.
Yes.
I can tell you that. I'm good at that part. I used to be the person that had to have my hands on everything and micromanage, and now I've learned to just release, and it's perfect.
That's a huge lesson,
It's working
too.
better. Yeah, it's working better.
We'll have to have you come back in another episode and dive into that in more detail.
Oh,
I
I'll
think
tell you
there's
all
there's
about
a whole
that.
bunch of stuff that we
I'll
can
tell you
talk
all
about there
about it.
for sure. It was great to have you here though today, David. And,
Thank you.
It was cool to finally meet you for the first time. I know we've
I
talked
know.
on the phone
for
multiple
a while.
times.
I know
but
for a while. So and this is great. And like I said, I promise you, I'll make some of the mixers and such.
yeah, I look forward to it.
That's
so
great.
we're gonna end the episode the way we always do, which is with a challenge, and that is for anyone who took the time to listen to the episode, whether it's on Facebook Live or through our YouTube platform or anywhere else. Listening to on your favorite podcast platform, what is one specific action step that you can grab from this conversation with David Lovitch that you think can help you move forward? professionally or personally. And if you at least take one action step, then this time would have been worth the investment. Maybe it's investing in like a CRM, like David mentioned, and there's some element there that you need to improve upon. Maybe you need to figure out joining a better team, or finding a mentor. Is something else that David and I talked about. Maybe it's a different prospecting source. David mentioned a couple of his favorite prospecting sources as well. Maybe you need to find a better wife. I don't, I don't know what it is, but there's all kinds of things that we threw out there in our conversation. Maybe you need to read Gary Keller's book, right? The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So whatever it might be, find one thing, take one action step from what we talked about today that will allow you to move forward in a direction that you want to help you become a real producer if you're not already one. And even if you are, taking your business to the next level. So we'll see you on the next episode of Tampa Bay Real Producer.